Hi there, Phil Simborg, USBGF Teaching Pro. Have you ever rolled a 6-5 on the opening roll and then a 6-5 on the next roll and wonder how you're going to win the game? Well, happens a lot, and you're right to wonder how you're going to win the game, because if you don't roll double ones or double twos or double threes or get really lucky, you are going to leave some shots. And in the meantime, this is what likely happens. Blue starts shoring up his side of the board and just slyly sits back here and does a little rope-a-dope and waits for you. And now here you are, 6-5 to play. How are you going to play it? People often misplay these rolls. I'm going to give you a hint. There's only two ways to play the roll that make any sense. One is to bring two checkers down, leaving a blot on the 7, and bringing another checker to the 8th point. Another one is to bring a checker down and hit. Nice thing about backgammon is you can move the checkers and take a look at it. So let's take a look at both plays. By the way, over a live board, I hate it when people move checkers back and forth and back and forth, so we've recommended a new rule. Instead of putting this checker here over a live board, you leave it out a little bit. There's no question that that was one of the checkers that was moved. And you leave this one out away from the other checkers a little bit. And I'm hoping that someday they'll have a rule that if you don't do that, then you've lost your right to move the checkers back, because otherwise it just gets too confusing of what checker came from where and what got moved. This one's a fairly simple position to see, but generally speaking, I think that's a very, very big aid. And I've got most of the guys in my chouette are doing that now, and people that I play, I ask them nicely if they'll do that, and I do it myself as an example. And we really have eliminated a lot of confusion, a lot of arguments over, wait a minute, what was the original position? Which checker did you move? Okay, that's a side subject, but I hope you'll start doing that too. Okay, so you can move this 6-5. Looks pretty good. Or instead of this 5, let's put the 5 back. You could hit with this 5. I can see pluses and minuses to both plays. Which play do you think is better? And think about why. Don't just make a guess. Jake Jacobs used to tell me I was better off flipping a coin when I had two plays because I'm more likely to get it right. But that backfired on him. One day I had a really big play to make, and I told him heads I'm going to hit you and tails I'm not, or heads I'm going to double and tails I'm not, and I knew darn well it was a big double, and it came up heads and it doubled. He thought he lost the match because I got lucky and it came up heads. The truth is, if it had come up tails, I would have said, I got it mixed up. I think tails I was supposed to double. So I was going to double him anyway. A year later, he found out that the coin flip didn't cost him the match, and I was going to double anyway. But when I told him about it, he said, I don't believe you. So it backfired on me. Okay, so you can flip a coin, or you can try to come up with a reason to make the right play. And the right play is the hit. Now, if you didn't make the right play, or if you did, the question is why? Well, the first thing is, aren't you in big, big trouble if you get hit back? If you get hit back, or if he hits you, either play, you're in big trouble. Let's look at the non-hitting play. If you don't hit, here's what it looks like. I can click on final down here. He's got 17 numbers that hit. Everybody should immediately know that 6 away is 17 numbers, as long as all numbers play, as long as nothing's blocked, and nothing is blocked here. So he can hit you with a 5-1, 6-1, any number that with a 6 in it plus the combinations. So you're going to get hit 17 times. If you make this play, you should be able to count pretty quickly how many times you get hit here. You get hit with all ones, that's 11 times, plus a 2-5 and a 3-4. That's 4 more times. That's 15 times. So one advantage to this play is you're going to get hit 2 less times, which is about 5.5%. Getting hit fewer times is critical, because again, if you get hit here, you are going to be a huge underdog in this game. So you'd like not to get hit. But also, let's look what happens if you don't get hit. You have to look at the glass as half full as well as the glass half empty. If you make this play and you don't get hit, what happens if he rolls a 5-4, 6-5, 4-4, 5, 4-6, higher numbers, even a 3-6 or a 3-5? He's going to have to come in on this number, this number, and this number, and that makes it easier for you to get past him, to go around him. You're up a lot in this race. Your racing is your best game plan. You can't prime a single checker very easily, and you don't have a good priming game. You don't have a good hitting game because you got no points and he's got a good board on his side. So your best chance is racing, and you're much better off racing if you get him off this ace point and force him to come in higher. So when he doesn't hit you, you'd like him out of there. In this case, if he doesn't hit you, he is staying on the ace point. So let's say he doesn't hit you. He's not dumb. He's going to play right. He's going to stay back and wait for more shots. So if he doesn't hit you, he's going to still be here. Okay, so you make this point, or maybe you roll a 2-1 and make this point, or a 3-2 and make another point. But you're going to make a point. He's still here in your hair. You're still going to have to worry about leaving another shot for several rolls because you haven't kicked him off of that spot. So you've got two reasons to hit here: the strategic positional reason of getting him off the ace point, and the obvious tactical reason of leaving fewer shots immediately, which would be very, very hurtful to you. Very good way to keep in mind that it is all about game plan. That's a big part of it. Once you realize that your best game plan is racing, and that the best way to race is if he's not on your ace point and you get him out of your hair, and the best way to race is also not getting hit, it gives you a double reason to make the right play. It's not a huge difference between the plays. By the way, let's put them in a plus and get a better reading. The difference is about 0.032, which is not great, but it could be great, and 0.032 is a significant enough difference for me to care. I make 3 or 4 errors of 3%, and all of a sudden I've given up 15-20% winning chances in the match, depending on how good my math is. So, hope this was interesting for you. These are the kinds of positions that come up often. I have a special lesson that I give students that's nothing more than what happens after you've rolled 2 6-5s. How do you bring it home from there? Also, what happens after you've rolled a double 6 on the second roll? How do you bring that game home? People make lots and lots of mistakes from there, and they can easily be avoided if you just practice some and just play from that position over and over and over again. Set it up and play it out against Extreme Gammon. Think about how you play every roll, and thank goodness we have a tool here that gives you the answer. 20 years ago, we didn't have very good tools that gave you very good answers. So take advantage of it. You'll improve your game tremendously. Thanks for watching the video. There's about 140 more of these exclusive to members of the USBGF. Thank you for your support and your membership. And if you're not a member of the USBGF, please join, and you will be able to see the rest of the 140 videos. And many of my videos, I have guest lecturers with me, some of the best players and teachers in the world, so you don't have to just listen to my voice all the time and my old silly stories. See you soon, and good rolling to you all. Bye-bye.